One thing that we recently learned in the weeks after The Last Jedi is that Supreme Leader Snoke actually had at least one other apprentice besides Kylo Ren. Now, to many, including myself, this is interesting, but it's not really surprising. Snoke is very old, so it makes sense that he may have held the interest of another student. However, what if this other apprentice wasn't so far in the past? What if they were, say, another Knight of Ren, a part of Kylo's rogue Jedi that massacred the Jedi Temple? Well, that too is believable, but what could make this person so important? Why would they highlight this fact now? Unless, of course, they are related to someone. A theory that was originally suggested to me by one of my amazing subscribers stated that Luke Skywalker actually had a secret son, a son that was turned against him and brainwashed before the Jedi Temple fell. And all this time, he's been completely out of the picture even after Episode 8. And where is he? Well, he may be the new leader of the Knights of Ren. After this news story broke, many outlets immediately began theorizing that this new apprentice was most likely indeed one of the other knights, because if Snoke was following Kylo Ren, obviously he would be following others as well, including Luke's son. This would be literally the perfect situation for Snoke, manipulating both heirs to the Skywalker bloodline at once. But what happened to Luke's son? Well, remember that the Knights of Ren were not in The Last Jedi, so this means they have either served their purpose, which I seriously doubt, or they're off with someone else. If Kylo is no longer in command, maybe someone else is. Someone who caused the Knights of Ren to go rogue even from themselves, leaving Kylo Ren and Snoke to strike out on their own. And how fascinating would this be if it was Luke's own son? Now to me, this sounds like the Grey Jedi story that we probably won't be getting with Rey. Imagine what's going through this character's mind. His father, Luke Skywalker, allowed both he and Kylo to be turned at Snoke's hand, but soon after, Luke's son began clashing with Snoke, rebelled against the First Order, and disappeared. How would he feel? What would he become? This is how a Grey Jedi is born. Now, of course, we have some major obstacles in the way. For one, Snoke has repeatedly said that Luke Skywalker is the last Jedi, that everything depends on Luke, and if he had a son, that obviously wouldn't be the case. But, as Pablo and Leland have said many times before, everything in Star Wars canon is malleable, which basically means they can change things. Not to say that Luke isn't the key, he absolutely is, but I'm sure there are many secrets that Snoke may have kept from even his closest connections. Although, another way you could create this situation is if Luke's son is actually still working for Snoke. There could be another faction altogether that the Knights of Ren are working for. Maybe the First Order is utilizing them as bounty hunter type characters, sending them out on missions with Luke's son as the leader. And perhaps even unbeknownst to everyone except Snoke. The other problem that we run into is that if a massive character like Luke's son were to be introduced now, I'm not entirely sure there would be enough time to build his character, because this is someone that you'd want to introduce in Episode 8 and continue through Episode 9. However, it is very possible to have an entire character arc inside of one movie, and since so many people were on the fence about Luke's storyline in Episode 8, it would be pretty amazing to see Luke's son take his place, and finally end the Skywalker story arc in these new trilogies. And before any of you say that there's not enough time, remember that Saw Gerrera's character was hardly utilized in Rogue One, but then soon after the film, his character was further developed in Rebels and other canon material like books and comics. Like it or not, this is the way that Disney is doing things now, so it's entirely possible that this could work. Now, the last problem that we run into is that this is a lot of information that happens off screen, which is what makes the character feel rushed. But remember that we have Dave Filoni's new TV show that will most likely cover the 30-year gap, and this series will premiere before Episode 9 comes out, featuring Luke's new Jedi Temple and characters like Snoke, Lor San Tekka, the Knights of Ren, Luke's ex-students, and possibly Luke's son as well. So now I turn this conversation over to all of you. Do you guys think that we could actually see the secret son of Skywalker return for Episode 9? And could he be the new leader of the Knights of Ren? Leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the Great White Void. And before I go, of course I wanted to give a big shout out to one of my strongest supporters, Jedi Master Daniel 96, who came up with this amazing theory. Please go check his channel out under the same name because he makes great content. And as always, troops, until next we meet, stay in that galaxy far, far away.